So hi guys, how are you doing? It's Marcel here. Sorry for my bad voice quality, but I'm already on a laptop and I don't have a microphone with me. So yeah, this will be my voice quality for the rest of the week because I'm on a vacation again. But let's just break down today's GBP USD trade. Actually trades because we executed two trades in the live trading session today. First one was a break-even, second one was a partial, where I booked partials at 1 to 6 risk-reward ratio, removed 50% of the whole position size there. So yeah, let's just take a look at these positions and let's just break down everything. So beforehand I start the recap and beforehand I start to break down everything here, I just want to make sure that you guys understand that we do these setups in the live trading webinar. So if you were there, then likely you took the setup also, because most of the students who were there executed the setup with me, I mean setups. And yeah, this is the value of being there in the live trading sessions, because if you'd be there, likely you're going to execute a setup with us, because in almost every single live trading webinar, we just do execute setups with a really, really high win/break-even ratio. So in the past like 10 or 15 webinars, we only had one loss. Rest of the position were partials, TPs, or break-evens. So basically that's what we do in these live trading sessions. So it's recommended for you to join there, even though you are at work, because you're working, you're not really free for these sessions. Try to show up on your phone, because you can still take value from these webinars even though you're on your phone, because lots of the students that are in the webinar are showing up from their phones. And yeah, they can come from this, that even though they are from their phones, they can take insane value from these webinars and they can execute the trades with us. So let's just begin this recap. First of all, here we are on the 15-minute time frame. That will be the time frame which we will focus on, because basically 4-hour and 15-minute time frames are extremely bullish. And once again, sorry for my small screen size, but I'm on my laptop, so I don't have my 34-inch monitor with me here. But this is what we got to do. Okay, so the 15-minute time frame was extremely bullish. The 4-hour time frame was extremely bullish. And by just taking a look at this overall structure, prices recently broke the swing high point here. In the live webinar, I said basically the swing break was here at this movement. I just consider this as liquidity. So it was at this line exactly. So in the live trading webinar, I said that after the swing point break, we can expect a bigger pullback. But if price reacts in some source of valuable 50-minute demand at this region, which were marked and which I will show on the 50-minute time frame. So if price reacts on those areas, we can take longs still, because if price reacts on those areas, then it has a high chance to continue the overall bullish structure without creating a bigger pullback to some deeper demand region. But if price would have broke below that 15-minute demand that will be shown on the 15-minute time frame, let's just switch there, then we will have a nice pullback short scenario all the way down to this demand. So let's just explain the plans here. So we had two demands marked out on our time on this 15-minute time frame and on the 5-minute also before the session opened, when I made the live analysis part. So I marked out this extreme demand on the 15-minute time frame, and I marked this 5-minute decisional above it. So basically, this 15-minute demand is the whole origin of the order flow. This demand started the order flow that has brought this structure, the swing 15-minute structure, to the upside, and this 5-minute demand is the one that has caused the direct break, because this is the extreme. This is not caused the direct break. This 5-minute caused the direct break of the structural high point here. So we just marked out these two areas and we expected reaction on them. If one of them could give a reaction to us, then we could execute a setup there. So basically the first zone, the first area, technically it could hold the price, because you can see a slight break below this zone, a really slight break below this zone, but mainly it was just a wick below, which swept the initial liquidity right here. And after a liquidity sweep, it just reacted and reversed aggressively right here. So yeah, but basically price has also mitigated the deeper extreme demand, and mitigation has happened on a low percentage, but I will talk about this on the 1-minute time frame, because that's where it will make any difference. Currently on the 50-minute time frame, we could see that price reacted and respected both of the areas here, and basically it couldn't break below the lower extreme demand. So the second part of the plan, second part of the forecast was that if price can break below this extreme demand, then we would have a nice bearish scenario all the way down, leading all the way down to this 4-hour refinement demand here, because this 50-minute candle is the refinement of the overall 4-hour candle that can be found, of course, on the 4-hour time frame.
So these were the simple plans that we have built for the GBP USD. Once again, confirmation on any of these areas. If a confirmation can given on these areas, then we can take longs all the way up to break the swing high, or all the way up to this market supply on the 1 minute time frame that I will show you. Or if the extreme demand breaks, then shorts all the way down to the extreme 4-hour demand here. So switching to the 1 minute time frame, let me just use the replay tool here if I can, but Zoom just popped in the way, so I'm just going to skip it. Replay, okay, I could use it and replay it here. Okay, so here we are on the 1 minute time frame. What can we see here? We can see that price basically, session opened here at this exact candle. The session open has happened, and from this region, price was reacting on a supply on the 5 minute time frame. So there was one more plan on the 5 minute time frame that I have built for the riskier type of traders, that this bearish order flow to the downside was tradable all the way down to this first demand, because there was 1 to 5 risk reward ratio room available for us to trade. But basically, there was no short confirmation given right here in this region, so I won't break it down. I will just focus on the longs. So firstly, price mitigated the first region, the seasonal region, but left double bottoms right away here inside of this region, which was a liquidity. That's why I consider this movement to the downside as a liquidity sweep and not as a break, because basically the 15-minute candle broke slightly below, and this whole movement to the downside was just a sweeping weak and immediate reversal. So the first zone couldn't give a confirmation for any entry opportunity, right? So there was no change of character to the upside. Instead of changing the character, it just broke the structure and broke the demand to the downside. And I said in the live webinar that if price can break above this supply region here, then we will have a character changing scenario on this line, and we will be able to take longs. Basically, we just ignored this small percentage mitigation, because I just counted that price basically mitigated this zone and swept the liquidity from below it. But at this region, when price broke above this supply, so basically created the first change of character, we couldn't really execute longs. So I told the members that don't enter here, because this is all liquidity. I just pointed out that this whole movement to the upside was a liquidity collecting movement. It was a liquidity trend line, so we could expect a further sweep into the deeper region of the area. So that's what has happened. Basically, we didn't enter in any position here. This is a perfect textbook example for the buy trap that is drawn in the educational picture section or in the educational video section. So it was a perfect live textbook example for the buy trap. Price just swept out this liquidity, trapped the early buyers, trapped everyone who was trying to long on this block, on any of the blocks in this movement, and just swept them out immediately. So at this sweep, price basically swept the liquidity. All of the liquidity was swept by this movement, but didn't mitigate the 50% of this deeper region still. But oh my god, what did I do? Sorry, I don't know what am I doing. I apologize. So basically, for me, as I told in the live trading session, the sweep was enough, and I wasn't waiting for the 50% mitigation anymore, because price swept liquidity into the deeper region, a bit deeper region of the demand, but the main tone is on the liquidity sweep right here. Right after the sweep of the liquidity, price just reversed aggressively to the upside and basically changed the overall character here to the upside, changed the swing high point. And the reason we are calling this change of character and not a break of structure is because this low point was not broken by body closure. So price couldn't break below this low point with a body closure, meaning this high point is not a real high point, meaning this high point can be a break of structure point. It's only a change of character point. Why? Because price changed the character here to the upside with this movement, right? Then it changed back the character here and on several places with this movement. Then it changed back the character to bullish again with this movement. So meaning this was a character changing movement. And basically there was two order blocks, two demands that we could use in this movement. First one was right here. This was the extreme of the whole movement. And the second one was this flip area here. So the first, the flip area that is called the direct flip and direct change of character here was basically a first entry POI. I did set a limit order here with a risk with entry, and I did set also a limit order here on the extreme. In the live session, I just set the instructions for the members that everyone can set a limit order with a risk with entry here and here. So that's how everyone did. And basically that was the major plan right here. First, the tech has happened. Basically just run up to a nice amount of profit, like 4 risk reward ratio. we could set it to break even after the break of this high point. Then it went back down to break even, sweeping us out here in a break even trade, meaning it's a perfectly fine trade. We was happy with it. After this one, price just tagged us in the second risk-fit entry model, because we could still use that risk-fit entry model. And the reason we could use that risk-fit entry model is because it's liquidity. You can see this perfect liquidity trend line. Basically, there was a high chance, as I said in the live training webinar, that there was a high chance for the sweep of this liquidity. And if it happens, then this order block will be mitigated and it will tag us in. So that's what has happened exactly. After a tag, it literally went to no breakdown. It just immediately reversed with this wick and went all the way up to break this high point. And I took 50% off of the whole position somewhere around here at 6-4 ratio. The overall target point was, sorry, I used the 2.5 pip stop loss here. So yeah, I used the 2.5 pip stop loss here. And let me just check the 6-3 ratio point. Yeah, it was here. Sorry, I used the wrong pip size. So here is the point where I took 50% off of my position size, because, you know, this is my rule. When price, I'm setting my partial points at 50% of the whole risk-reward ratio size. So if the risk-reward ratio size in this case is 12, then I'm setting my partial point at 6-reward ratio, and I'm going to remove 50% off of the whole position at this partial point. So that's what I did. I just removed 50% off of the whole position at 6-reward ratio. Then, you know, it just did melt down to my break-even point. And yeah, I'm completely fine and happy with this partial point, because I just took some money. I just did feed my pocket with money from this trade. So taking 6-reward ratio with a partial point is completely fine for me. Then taking a break-even beforehand is also completely fine. So it was overall successful trading session, because basically everyone in the live trading session took this trade and this trade also. So yeah, if you took any of these trades, you can be happy with them. And yeah, basically after sweeping us out from our positions, price just simply ran up to really high price actions. As you can see, it just literally continued the way up. So it would have been a TP hit if it wouldn't take out us in break even. But the thing I just noticed here is that price created liquidity here, double bottoms, and this liquidity has been swept here into a deeper region, which is basically this extreme here, but it wasn't inefficient, so that's why I wasn't really counting on that demand. Likely here was a 3-minute demand area. Let me just check it real quick. Yeah, we could say that this was the extreme 3-minute area right here, this one. So price just ran down to the 3-minute extreme area and spread this overall liquidity into the area. Then it ran up to the TP, but never mind. I'm really fine and happy with this 6-reward ratio partial profit. It had to happen like this. So yeah, once again, thank you for being here and thank you for being in the live trading session today. Also, congratulations to anyone who took this trade, and see you guys.